Hi there, I'm Clarence Waldron. Welcome back to another episode of Black Muse. Tonight's guest is Dr. Deanna Brown Thomas. She's the daughter of the Godfather of Soul, Mr. James Brown. She's also the founder and president of the James Brown Family Foundation. Oh, we all know his music. Papa got a brand new bag. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. It's a man's world. Please, please, please. Whatever. I'm going to stop now and let Deanna tell her story. Hey there, Deanna.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I am very well. Now that you're here, I'm very well. So let's dig in. Tell us about the James
So it's
Brown.
safe. It's safe to say I feel good, huh? It's safe to say, "Ow, I feel good."
I like that. I meant to ask you your favorite song, but I'll ask you that later on. But anyway, let's dig right in. Tell us about the James Brown Family Foundation to help needy families. I know that he was very concerned that you guys would do this type of thing. Tell us about that, the foundation.
Well, actually, because I traveled around the world with my dad, I learned from him, watching him, you know, be a part of giving back because he never forgot where he came from. He grew up in the poor, segregated South, and he didn't go as far as with the seventh grade, and my grandparents were poor. So he understood what it was to be able to pay it forward, to give it back. And that's what I learned watching my dad as I travel around the world with him. I watch him always give. And it's because he remembered what it was like to not have food and to be a child and not to be able to experience Christmas and have a toy. He knew what all of that felt like because he lived it. So in the early 90s, he started the James Brown Turkey Giveaway and the James Brown Toy Giveaway. And by the grace of God and such great help through the foundation, we've been able to continue. And that's pretty much why we started it after he passed, was to continue his charitable work. Because that was one of the first questions, Clarence, I got after he passed was, would we continue these giveaways? That's when it hit me and let me know how important they were. It wasn't just about dad putting his name on something and showing up and a bunch of people. It wasn't about that. It was about a true need for people. From that, we started the James Brown Academy of Music Pupils, JAMP, which is my baby, my passion, where we're teaching young kids how to play instruments, teaching them how to read music after school. It's a year-round program. We do it in the summer for 6 weeks, and then we do it after school and every other Saturday. And I have seen miracles happen. And I seen exactly what my dad said. You put an instrument in a child's hand, and you'll change that child's life. And I have seen that. Our kids have graduated, gone on, and to college and doing what they're doing, but they still revert back to their music because it's a discipline and it's a love that they have. And so I'm just so thankful. As a matter of fact, our students are going to be auditioning for Amateur Night at the Apollo in May. And so we are very happy. They've done stuff like Open Up for Prince back in 2012 in Chicago. They went to Tom Joyner family reunion in Florida and opened up for that. So they've got some wonderful, wonderful opportunities and been able to learn as well. We also have the James Brown Family Historical Tour. And that's every Saturday, a bus tour that we take you around Augusta and show you where dad grew up, where he went to school for a little bit of time, and where we lived, where he had businesses and offices. And it's a great historical tour. And we're so happy to be able to offer it, starting at the Augusta Museum of History, where it's the largest exhibit of my father. And so you go around and then you come back to the museum, so you can go into the museum. Your ticket for the tour includes entrance into the museum so that you could see the exhibit, a self-guided tour in the exhibit. And, you know, while they're banning books and trying to stop our history, over here, we are not. We are glad, happy, and willing to tell the history of James Brown, because his history is still felt today and will be, I believe, until the Lord come back. He's still the most sampled artist. Young folks still trying to dance like him. People still model their businesses like him. People still wear their hair like him.
Okay,
So
okay.
we're gonna be, yeah, we're gonna be celebrating James Brown for a very long time. So we encourage people to go and Google James Brown Family Foundation. Plan to come on down. Bring your family reunions, bring your groups, take the tour, and check it out. I know that you will enjoy it. I know that you'll like it, because a lot of people, it's funny because a lot of people think because they grew up with daddy, they think they know everything. Until they come take the tour, and they like, I didn't know that. That's why you were smart. Come take the tour and learn it.
Exactly, exactly. Yes. So now I remember Aretha Franklin was a supporter of the Academy. Wasn't she someone who really
Yes,
tell us about
yes.
that?
Oh
Tell us
goodness.
about
And
that.
we're so thankful. Well, young lady, Charlie Lee, she was only about 7 or 8 years old, and she loved Aretha Franklin. And when I told Miss Franklin that this little girl loved her, she said, I need to send all of that to these people. I'm gonna tell you what she said. She said, I need to have you call American Idol because they think the young folks ain't into me. I said, oh no, ma'am. I said, this elementary baby girl is into you. She says, really? And so she took it upon herself to support us, and we were so thankful. She came to Atlanta and performed at the Fox Theater, and we were able to go take Charlie, take her backstage so she could meet Miss Franklin and get an autograph. And of course, Miss Franklin gave us some advice, and it was just pure magic. I mean, you know, to be able to sit close to the queen
The Queen, the
is
Queen.
a blessing. Yes, the queen, the queen, the queen, always and always. So yeah, that was a blessing to us. And she even told me about a story about her dad and my dad, and she gave me some history. And so I mean, I appreciated her. I even got a chance to see her at the Detroit Music Festival in 2017. And when she came off stage, I gave her a hug. And she said, "Girl, you know you're doing it. Keep on doing what you're doing."
Wow.
I mean, God bless me. God blessed me at that moment just for her to say that to me. And, you know, I was thankful. Then I had opportunity to be at her funeral so that I could pay respects on behalf of our family.
Nice, nice, nice. You got so much going on. You co-produced the musical Papa Didn't Take No Mess. Will that tour again this year, do you think?
Well, we're working on that. So, as the old folks say, send some timber up. We praying and hoping that we're able to work something out. However, you know, everybody danced and jammed off of Papa Don't Take No Mess. Well, I lived it. And I can tell you about Papa Don't Take No Mess.
Uh-oh,
So
uh-oh.
that's why I named it Papa Didn't Take No Mess, because I lived it. And I get to give some authentic stories never been told before, never heard before, in his life and how I see it and through my eyes. And so there are never before told stories. And I really, God blew my mind with this one, Clarence. God blew my mind. I had no idea that it would be like it was. And it was like he literally just dropped this in my lap. You know, it was like
Hmm.
God and the Godfather got together and said, yeah, we're going to get Deanna to do this. And I did it. And me and my co-writer and co-producer, Jeremy Cormier, who's a playwright, and and it worked out. And the young man that played my dad, Mr. Lawrence Flowers, he's originally from Jacksonville, Florida, lives in Atlanta, a gospel singer and songwriter and wonderful actor, and just really brought my father to life. I mean, every night I said I wasn't going to cry. I lied to myself because I just
Hmm.
couldn't, not resist it. I laughed, I cried, you know, it's all the emotions. But like I said, there's some things in there that I think would kind of make people kind of understand my dad a little more. Some things that they probably, that I know they didn't know, and the way that it's delivered. So yeah, we're hoping that we're able to get another run.
Great, great. Now, what kind of father was he? What kind of
Strict.
strict? Mm, elaborate,
Yeah,
please.
my father was very strict. Well, education was important because he knew how important it was to have an education. He didn't get a chance to get one. So that was very important to him that we go to school, finish school, and have a degree. So that was important. But my dad, yeah, he was very strict. I couldn't move sideways, I guess you could say. Once I graduated from college and even decided to when I got married, you know, he was still in a sense not strict on me, but still kind of like, well, you know, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to do, still being a father, you know. And my dad, because of what he didn't get, or maybe what he felt like he wasn't able to do because he was on the road so much. I believe he tried to make up for it once he got older, when he made me vice CEO of the new James Brown Enterprises. I got to travel with him. And in traveling with him, I had to do his hair for a while. And in doing his hair, I learned a lot. I went to college, I got my degree, but the James Brown University and getting front and center and learning from the master himself, I mean, I could probably sell James Brown classes because
I'm sure, yeah.
The information that I could share, you know, some stuff I like my dad would talk how serious he would talk about how serious it was in the world because he was around world leaders, presidents, you know, and prime ministers. So he would always talk at a level that, I mean, you learn him. He's schooling you because he understood. And now, mind you, this is a man who went as far as the seventh grade, but yet he was talking at a level, you know, back in the late 60s, early 70s, as you know, as you wrote about a lot of these things at Jet. You know, the FBI and the CIA, they were concerned about my father because of his power and because of his influence and because of his friendship connections with these world leaders from all over the world. Some that may not have been so, you know, friendly, that the United States and you know that country may not have been so friendly, but music has a way of connecting and bridging gaps and bringing people together that may not come together in any other form, but around music and the message that the music brings. And my dad was able to do that. And I believe that into some degree kind of scared some people because he was able to do that with everybody.
Yeah, yes. So when did you realize, wait, my father is world famous? When did you realize that? When did that hit you?
When I was a sophomore in college, of course, I knew my dad went away, spent a lot of time away. That was his type of work that he did and was be gone for long periods of time. I got that growing up. And that he was important, but to the what degree? No. So I was in college, Towson State University, had to do a paper sophomore year and was in the encyclopedia area in the library. And so I said, oh, let me see what they got on dad. You know, just know he's in there. Opened it up, started reading the first part of it where they give you all the demographics about where he was born, when he was born, and who he married, his children, and had our names listed. And so I'm just, you know, kind of getting beside myself a little bit, start looking around, trying to wonder, do these people know who I am? You know, it's like my name is in this encyclopedia. I expected to see my dad, but I didn't expect to see mine or my
Right.
siblings, you know.
Right.
So that was an eye opener for me because I was like, oh wow, they really, it ain't just about daddy. Like they know about him and everything about him, that include family and everything. So that kind of opened my eyes then. And then I had the opportunity after college to travel with dad around the world. Like I said, I had the opportunity to do his hair. So I was learning quite a bit because he would conduct business. He would conduct so much business before he hit the stage. He had a 75-25 rule. 75% of whatever you do, you can apply this to anything. Your contracts, the money, you make sure you're getting paid what you want to get paid, and how you want to get paid. Make sure people are on time, doing what they're supposed to do. All of that, all of the business of stuff to make sure it functions in the way that it needs to function. That's the 75%. The 25% is for him a performance. For anybody, it could be a presentation or whatever you have to do. If you don't have your 75% together and you just give away 25%, you give away that presentation or that performance. So it was always about having your business right before you actually give the show.
Got it. What's your fondest memory of him? I mean, you travel with him. Any favorite song that you like to hear even now?
Wow. I love, well, okay. Yeah, that's hard to do. Giving you a favorite song. I'll tell you about an opportunity that I had when I was with dad on the road. We were in South Central LA and we had an opportunity. I had opportunity to really see dad in action. This was way before social media, way before the whole paparazzi thing go crazy. And we were riding the limousine and he stopped the limousine, stopped the car. And he jumped out. He said, come on, Deanna, I'll show you something. And security are jumping out trying to figure out what's he doing? And we're walking across the street and we're walking towards a lot of homeless people that are laid out on the ground, under cardboard, dirty blankets, whatever they were under. And you could see them standing up and looking, like scratching their head, trying to figure out, am I dreaming or is that James Brown? Have I seen a ghost? What? And so you see these people looking. And so my dad, he starts giving out money, which was no big deal. He would do that a lot. But this one time he gave this man $50. He said, listen, take this money. Go clean yourself up. Go get something to eat. Do something for yourself. And it was like he was giving this young man hope. And I saw a different side of my father then. It wasn't just about the money, because I've seen him give money out before.
Right, right.
But it was the hope that he gave that young. And that stuck with me because my dad didn't have to do that. He could have just told his security guards, hey, go take this money over there and give it to these people. But no, he wanted to do it so that he could have some time and literally minister to this young man. That's what I saw my father do.
Yeah.
Now that song probably would be, the old school would be get up, get into it, get involved.
Okay.
Because that's what we all must. It's funky, you can jam and dance to it, but it has a strong message. Get up, get into it, and get involved.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I love Georgia Lina. A lot of people may not know about that one, but go to YouTube and check it out. It's called Georgia Lina, Lina. And it talks about my dad growing up, being born in Carolina, growing up in Georgia, and just his life. It kind of sums up his life and shows how much love he has for the Georgia, Carolina area that he was born and raised in, and where I now live. And I love that song. It can be played probably on any format of genre of music. Good song.
I'll look for it. I'll look for that. So you mentioned your degree. What was your major? What you major in?
Well, I went to college. I went to Towson State University and I majored in marketing. And then after that, I went to Columbia School of Broadcasting and did radio. And that was in the Washington, D.C. area. Worked for Kathy Hughes for some time. Came down to Georgia, opened up the radio station with my dad in Atlanta and Augusta, ran those. And then somebody heard me on the radio and loved my voice, and they worked for Cumulus Radio at the time and wanted to hire me.
Oh, really?
Well, my dad had got mad with me about a certain thing. I can't even remember what it was, and he fired me. I thought, okay, well. So they loved me, and I went over there and talked with them a couple times. They even said, listen, we want to talk to your dad, and we don't want no hard feelings. I said, oh, you sure you want to talk to him? Okay.
Uh-oh.
We had the meeting, and he wasn't happy that I was going to do this job. He wasn't happy at all, but I did. And it was like he didn't want to show he was proud in a little sense because he was mad because I wasn't going to be on his radio station. Well, he kept saying, you got a family radio station over here. You need to stay over here. Okay. Deanna want to spread her wings, you know.
Right.
And so, okay, like I said, he didn't really like it that much, but, you know, I was over there doing it up, you know, doing my thing. And, but it was a great learning lesson for me. And I didn't go back to work for him, but you know, my dad still loved me and still loved what I was doing in the community, because he used to always tell me, you the star. Everybody, ain't nobody else. Everybody listening to you. It was almost like he wanted to throw some love and shade at the same time.
I like that. Love and shade. Oh, God. Okay. Now you also have an honorary doctorate. Where'd you get the honorary doctorate? That's a great honor. Great honor.
Thank you so very much. And you know that I should have looked at that thing. Why do I keep Columbia, South Carolina, Southeastern Theological School and Theological Seminary? And a young lady who has just been watching me in the community for many years called me, and we had a talk, and was very interested in bestowing upon me, the head of the school in the school, bestowing upon me a doctorate in Christian humanitarianism. As people will know when they look me up, because I know, you know, people gonna Google people these days. They got to find out about you. I do a lot of community work. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like you don't need a business card. They just need your name. They'll find you. They'll find you somewhere. And I do a lot of community work. Like I said, I took over a lot of the philanthropy work that Dad did. But I also did philanthropy work before then when I was doing radio. I did a lot of philanthropy work during that time when I worked for Ms. Hughes, as well as working for Cumulus and Clear China. I worked for both of them. And I guess literally, Clarence, it is in my blood to do community work. I guess that's just what it is, because I did it. I was doing it today. I went up to the churches to help pack food bags at Second Baptist Churches that gives out once a month. And so I went up there to help pack the bags out. I get a lot. I get a lot of gratification out of that. It makes me feel good. I mean, and I encourage a lot of people to do it. I'm always talking about going out and giving and helping because of what it does to your soul and how you should feel when you finish, even if you just do it for an hour, 30 minutes or an hour. There's no way in the world you can walk away and not feel good. That's just not how God's system works. You're gonna feel good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, also, there's a film out that's up for NAACP Image Award. Can you talk about that for a minute?
I sure can. Um, Documentary that was aired on A&E originally in February of last year. James Brown, Say It Loud.
Yes.
I was a co-producer on it. Executive producers was Questlove, Mick Jagger, Black Thought, and my sorority sister, Deborah Riley Draper, was the director. And she has been nominated for Outstanding Directing for a documentary from the NAACP Image Awards. We are so very proud of her. She was so dedicated, so just given that history, because that was a 2-night docu-series, and it was a lot of history, and she really laid it out so very well. We had good numbers, and we were just so thankful that she went in. I mean, we just laid it out. There were things that really wasn't discussed a lot about that we did talk a lot more about, more family stuff, and got more into his way of doing business and how it panned out for him. And it was amazing that a lot of people who knew my dad, again, here we go, people who grew up and knew him thought they knew everything, but they don't. And then a great lesson for this generation to have seen that and learned that. Because while they know dad to be the most sampled artist in hip hop still to this day, to learn about the man is a different story. The music is one thing, but the man, that's a different story. That comes from a whole different beat.
Yeah. So now, can we see that film now, or you don't know that?
Yes. If you go to Prime, it is streaming on Prime.
Oh,
And it is called James Brown, Say It Loud.
got it. Got it. Describe for a moment your father's influence on the R&B world. People like Chris Brown and Usher and Michael Jackson and Prince. Talk about the influence there. I know about hip hop now. Let's talk about the R&B.
Well, you know what? We can go beyond all of what you just said, because I remember a young man from Egypt wanted dad to be a part of his new album. He came all the way over here and did a video with my dad from Egypt.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
Um,
Worldwide,
you have
worldwide.
people, yes, yes. You have people like you two from Bono, giddy and all excited about being around my dad. You got
Mm.
that rock band. I think it's called Journey. The guitar player there, just into James Brown. Slash from Guns N' Roses, just into James Brown. Let's go into the film world. Mel Gibson did a movie called The Payback. All the music from the soundtrack was James Brown. Bruce
Okay.
Willis, huge. Sylvester Stallone, all that walking like he was. That's all James Brown. I
Yes.
mean, it's beyond hip hop. It's beyond R&B. It's beyond music.
Wow. Wow.
a a
Mm.
true life. James Brown is a lifestyle, and it don't make a difference where you come from. You can be a part of it.
Absolutely. Wow. Okay. Now, I also read that James Brown's house looks the same way today as when he lived there, when he was alive. Any chance of the house being open to the public?
Well, we're working on that with the company that bought his estate. So we hope and pray that we are still able to do that. That takes some time to get done,
Okay.
but we are working on it. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Now, before we go, I got to get a little Jet Magazine question in here. Tell us something. personal. Tell us something about your married life. What year is this for you? Anniversary, stuff like that. Please. I got to do that in
Well,
honor. Wait,
so
wait a minute. In honor of the late Bob Johnson, I must ask that question. Go ahead.
look, Mr. Johnson and Dad were friends for a very long time. Jet has been in my life for a very long time. And when you talk about the things that we left in place, for like he left certain things in place, certain Jet magazines that he had displayed out, like the last one that he did, and he's on the cover, the last cover that he did, that was displayed. That's out in his vestibule. When you walk in the house, the vestibule is right there. So it's certain things that we made sure. Matter of fact, it's two Jets that I have in my dining room that I won't move, because it's the one about when he passed away, and then it's another one. And so Jet Magazine and Johnson Publishing is our life. And so even my marriage, even my wedding was in Jet Magazine. And my dad, he my dad did walk me down the aisle. I was a lucky one, me and Yama. He did walk us down the aisle. And my dad went into business with my husband. My husband was his personal bodyguard for many years, but our families go way back, because my grandfather was good friends with his father. My father knew his father. Our families went way back. So he wasn't a stranger to our family. We're still married. It's going in this year to be 28 years.
Wow.
And my dad and of course had a very good relationship. They did. Like I said, he worked for him, and but he kind of he he didn't work by the rules, because one of the rules were don't mess with the boss's daughters.
Uh-oh.
Well, he he didn't keep that rule. I guess I didn't make it easy for him either.
Okay. All right. All right. Um, well, now we're finally closed. Anything else that you want to share? Anything else on your mind? Anything that I didn't ask you that you wish that I had asked you? Anything else?
Well, no, I do appreciate you having me on and giving me opportunity to talk about what we're doing in the James Brown Family Foundation. I encourage your viewers to go to our foundation and see the work that we're doing. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, X, which used to be Twitter, and Instagram. My Instagram handle is @JamesBrownDaughter. Real easy to find. And please check us out to see what we're doing. And if all means, definitely come and make plans to check out the James Brown Family Historical Tour here in Augusta, Georgia. We'd love to have you down here. And please go and check out our students from the James Brown Academy of Music Pupils. Maybe you'd like to make a donation towards our scholarship fund, so that we could help young kids whose parents are unable to send their kids. So we want to make sure that we help everybody that we possibly can, and we can with your help. So thank you again, Clarence. I appreciate you allowing me to be on Black Muse. We've been friends for a very long time. I know Black Muse has had some wonderful artists, and with all the people that you know, more to come. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. God bless.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Before I close, I got to give a quick thank you shout out to Howard Sandifer and his wife, Darlene Sandifer. They are the founders of the Chicago West Community Music Center, a great school on the west side of Chicago. And this whole video podcast was their idea. They said, let's have lively conversation with newsmakers and our dear friends. So here we are. So thank you to them. Thank you to you again. And for my viewers there, please click like and subscribe. Please click like and subscribe. See you next week.